Hello everybody and welcome to my low budget guitar workshop video. This is just our introduction, so there's a few things I want to explain. There's way too much ground to cover as far as covering all the basics, but I realize that some of the people in the guitar workshop class are beginners. So there's a few things that we want to do. First of all, I'm at a funny angle here, so I won't be, my face won't be on the video for this, but when you're first starting, I would say this position that I'm sitting in right now is not guitar playing position. When you first start, what I would suggest you do is, if I turn towards you, lean forward, come up in your chair, and don't play the guitar flat across your body like this. I would struggle to do the guitar flat across my body like this. I call it half machine gun position. So you're not full, that's full machine gun. This is sort of half machine gun, so you're coming off at an angle. And I think what this does is, by leaning forward in your chair, you're able to address the guitar a little bit better. And by putting it out not flat across you, you're not putting your hand in awkward positions. Your hands come out naturally like this. So this arm goes back, as most guitar players you'll see. The right shoulder goes back, and this comes forward. If you need access to the fret, to the fretboard, you might want to wear your guitar a little bit higher up. Holding a pick is very individual. Some people hold it with that finger. Eddie Van Halen holds it with that finger. But the idea being is that knuckle right here, my index finger knuckle, I'm viewing the pick as an extension of that knuckle, and I just like a little bit over there. Some people like to have their hand out when they pick, so they'll anchor part of their hand on the guitar and they'll work that way. Some people go like that, and it's down to you how you want to do it. And I would suggest you try both. Get good at doing both of them, and that way, no matter what situation you're in, you're able to pick properly and efficiently. That's the name of the game for your right hand. For your left hand, what I would say is, a lot of people, when they first start out, they try and play with a straight wrist, and whilst you can do that as you get on in your guitar playing, you can keep it almost flat. It's an unnatural feel to it, but you can get away with it. But what I would suggest is that if we crack our wrist, I call it, then we can get this pinch action happening, and that's where the strength comes in your left hand. It's not from these fingers, although they do need to be strong, but they're anchored by the thumb. So you want to get a pinch going. If, for instance, you guys see me playing chords like this, I have pretty big hands, so I'm able to do probably things that I would recommend that you don't do if you have a smaller hand. That's not to say you can't do what I can do. It's just you're going to have to approach things a little bit differently, but we'll get into that. So we've got proper position. Sit up straight, maybe even lean forward. Get your guitar into sort of machine gun, half machine gun position. Get your pick as sort of an extension of your first knuckle on your index finger, and decide whether you want to plant your hand or come free. A lot of people, when they first start, they want to move their arm when they're strumming. I would say get away from that habit and try and lock your forearm and use your wrist. So you can see there's a difference between this, a lot of arm movement, and this. No arm movement, just wrist. Okay? So, and I would also like to suggest that you do some sort of exercise to warm your fingers up. So what I would suggest, just as a simple one, especially if you sat there watching telly or something like that, just try something. This isn't a fully chromatic exercise because the notes aren't linked up, but on each string what you're doing is a chromatic thing. What I like to do as well is 4 frets, 4 fingers, and that's all they play. I don't stretch up here for this exercise. I don't stretch down there for this exercise. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 frets, 4 strings. So we're just going to go like this, and this is practicing your alternate picking. If you want to do all down strokes or all up strokes at first, that's fine, but what you want to do is you want to graduate towards alternate picking. Okay, so little warm up. So we're going to go up the strings. Okay, then we're going to go down the next string. and you can move it up if you want. Opposite this time. Up, down. So something like that. You could do this. You could go. That's fine. You could go down if you want. Whatever you're doing, the idea is you just want to get your hand feeling a little bit limber, stretched out, and then we're going to attack some of the basics from here. Okay, so that's just a little introduction, a little bit about posture, pick, having a bit of a warm-up. Next, I'm going to talk about some beginner techniques and things that you have to be aware of in order to get the most out of the workshop.